I asked Whitey Herzog before the game if he'd be inclined to remove Tudor earlier today because he was working on 3 days rest.
No, Al, actually, he's worked so many times in his life with 3 days rest. In '85, I think his record was 18-1 on 3 days rest, and going into the 7th game of the World Series. And the thing with John is sometimes he has a lot better control coming back with 3 days. I would probably go get him today if he got up to around 100 pitches in the 7th inning and I had Don Baylor or somebody coming up there. I'd probably go to Worrell. If it was Herbeck, I'd probably go to Daly and go with my power pitchers. But I'm just shooting dice a little bit. I feel that if they win this ball game today, and I say Tudor for the 7th game, that would be very tough for us to beat. That I think the momentum would switch. They would feel they definitely got an advantage. So I'm trying to take advantage of what we got going for us by pitching Tudor today.
And so far, Tudor has given him the lead, though he's been very shaky through 3, and the Twins have squandered a couple of golden opportunities to score. 4-2 St. Louis, bottom of the 4th inning. Laudner, Lombardozzi, and Gladden. And Jim Lindemann stays in the game in right field for St. Louis. High fly ball to center. McGee there looking up, and remember, nothing's routine. 1 away. Steve Lombardozzi is the batter. A reminder, those of you on the West Coast in the Pacific time zone, coming up following the World Series, the California Golden Bears and the UCLA Bruins. Lombardozzi singled in the 2nd inning.
I really don't buy what Whitey Herzog said. I believe Tudor is a control pitcher, but as Frank Viola said, he said it's easy to pitch every 4th day with only 3 days rest if you've been doing it all year. And of course, if this does go to 7 games, we will see Viola for the 2nd time with only 3 days rest. Something you did last year.
I guess you could relate that to your career, Jim. You told us the other day that you never, for the most part, worked with 4 days rest. You were always in a 4-man rotation.
Well, we did it all during the season, so it didn't really matter. I saw Mike Cuellar pitch with 2 days rest, but he had done it a couple of times.
2 balls, no strikes the count. 1 out, bases empty, bottom of the 4th inning. Cards leading 4-2. That's grounded and hits third base. It's a fair ball. Coleman will chase it down, and Lombardozzi has a double.
Well, once again, control is so more important. He gets the ball inside, and Lombardozzi, 2nd hit, wraps it down the line, kicks off the bag, and Coleman still is not going to get to it. Lombardozzi with pretty good speed. They've had more pitches to hit tonight than they did in 7 innings. Talking about good pitches off Tudor, mainly because he's just not that sharp. And they've adjusted, as you said, Tim.
Dan Gladden now with the infield outside of Oquendo playing back. And he hits it in the air to deep left center field. Coleman and McGee converge, and McGee makes the play. They avoid the collision, and Lombardozzi has to remain at 2nd. And that is really tough with the ceiling and the noise, and knowing you get the 2 speedsters on a collision course.
I'll tell you, you get the feeling that if the Cardinals lose this game, faulty outfield play could have something to do with it. The Herbeck ball back in the 2nd inning, the error on McGee, and now Coleman and McGee almost colliding, avoiding serious injury.
Well, getting back to what I said, they cannot look at each other, because if they do, you lose the ball here, and that's different. An outfielder will tell you, once you see the ball, they know where it's going to come down. They look at each other to see if somebody's going to run them off. That's not the case here.
That ball almost rolled into Coleman's glove. It was that close. Gagne swinging and missing, 0-1.
You're also making that point, Jim, that you got to play the outfield differently in this ballpark, and it's tough to change old habits.
Well, that's why they say they didn't think that the background would bother them, the lights would bother them, but they did think the style of the way you play the fly ball would, and it's bothered everybody that's come in here.
2 out, Lombardozzi at 2nd. in the fourth. Chased it. 0-2.
I mean, in all fairness to the other 12 teams that do play in the American League, it's a very unfair advantage to have a white roof that they can't become accustomed to. And by the time they do, they've already left. And all you have to do is paint not the roof, but the panels up there. It certainly would take away a lot of the advantage to the Twins, which I'm sure would make them very unhappy, but would make the game of baseball a lot fairer.
Still 0-2. Remember, we showed you this earlier, this look at Rick Stelmazik hitting a fungo, and how difficult it is to see the ball coming out of the roof.
You watch it, you see it going up for a while. And now where is it?
Little speck. And this is grounded down and short and swooped up by Smith, and he takes care of Gagnon. So the Twins leave another in the fourth, 4-2 St. Louis, and we'll be back after this word from your local station. Hey, Peanuts!
ABC Sports presents an international event as two teams square off in an historic basketball meeting. The Soviet national team takes the court as they face their first challenge ever by an NBA squad. Their opponent, the Milwaukee Bucks. It's the McDonald's Basketball Open live Sunday on ABC Sports.
To the thousands of companies who make it their business to compete, we make it our business to provide communication services that give them a competitive advantage. We are U.S. West and Northwestern Bell. Nobody knows the trails better.
Oh, you're cold, freezing cold. Little warmer, little warmer. Now you're getting warm. Oh, hot, hotter. You're getting really hot. You're boiling. You're on fire. We're talking heat. Red Baron deep dish singles. Personal size pizzas ready in minutes in your oven or microwave. So go ahead, treat yourself. Deep dish singles are hiding in your grocer's freezer section. Seek them.
Not sure where to put your money right now? Well, you could gamble on the stock market. Or you could lock it away in a CD. Or you could risk it in a money market. Or you could put it into a TCF Passbook savings account that pays a very competitive rate. It's flexible and it's insured. TCF, where Minnesota banks. When it comes to your money, it's nice to have a safety net.
This is your World Series station, 5.
And between innings, Terry Pendleton trying to convince Whitey he's just fine, and he looks to be fine on the base pass. You never know the difference, the way Pendleton has run today. So we go to the fifth. Al Michaels along with Jim Palmer and Tim McCarver. Smith the batter, and the count 1-0. 4-2 St. Louis. Smith, Herr, and Dreesen with Schatzeder working. 1-1. The Twins winning the first two at home and then losing 3 in St. Louis. And the Cardinals trying to do what they did to the Dodgers after they lost the first two in the playoffs a couple of years ago. Laudner got a late start on this one and comes back and runs out of room. Schatzeder, by the way, is the only pitcher, and this is quite a distinction. Ozzie Smith, who has very few home runs in his big league career, has hit 2 of them off Schatzeder.
I believe only 6 lifetime. But it's very important for Schatzeder to pitch well, very much what he did in the 4th game when they came back from that 5-0 deficit. And he matches up so well with the Cardinals running attack.
2-2 the count.
They're not going to run on him, but there is not a right-hander in the Twins bullpen that they will not run on if they get on base. The appropriate runners, of course.
And they've got Berenguer and Reardon, still the men to come if needed. 2-2 the count.
Well, it's fortunate Tom Kelly also has Schatzeder pitching in an under American League rules, because you don't have to pinch hit for him.
Because he's such a good hitter, you may not do it
May
anyway.
not have to
but
anyway.
yeah,
That's right.
Exactly.
253 lifetime.
Tom Kelly, very much the symbol of this copacetic ball club. 3-2 the count. Kelly, I think more than almost any other manager today, or at least as much, symbolizes the whole mood and the feeling of his ball club. Smith fouls it away. I was talking with Peter Gammons of Sports Illustrated and some of the media people who've covered series for years and years, and talking about the Twins as a group. And I know it sounds trite, but a real good bunch of guys, nice bunch of guys, easy to deal with, mild and mellow of sorts, as Ozzie Smith draws the walk and Tommy Herr comes to the plate. And yet the other day, after the Twins start the World Series by winning the first 2 games here, we pick up the Minneapolis Star-Tribune on Monday. The subhead says winning angry. The headline says snarling, ball-pounding Twins win. Angry? Snarling? Who? The headline writer? The managing editor?
Certainly doesn't fit the players.
Boy.
I think what it did fit was the 10 and 8 runs they put on the board. That's about it, though.
Yeah, but it makes it seem as if this is a team of oafs and louts. Tommy Herr, 0-1 the count. Smith at first and nobody out. 5th inning. 4-2 Cardinals. That's grounded foul outside third. And the count 0-2. The Metrodome in Minneapolis. A little quieter at the moment. And our decibel meter, it's a very placid 90. Not angry or snarling at the moment. Oh, 2 pitch is hit foul, out of play.
Tell you, Tommy Herr certainly picked a good time to hit his first home run left-handed this year. Think about the last 3 postseason home runs for the Cardinals. Oquendo hits his 3rd lifetime home run. Tom Lawless hits his 2nd career home run, and Tommy Herr hits his 1st left-handed home run of the year, and only his 3rd of the year. He had 2 right-handed earlier. So they may not hit a lot of home runs, but they certainly surprise you when they do.
Smith goes, gets a good jump, and Herr hits it foul, so Ozzie comes back.
Boy, speed, and it's so important. You could start a guy like Smith, 43 stolen bases on the year, 2 in the playoffs. You have a contact hitter, so even with nobody out, kind of a gutsy play where you have a guy that may strike out even though he's a contact hitter, and you take you out of the inning, you have a guy that can also steal. If it was a hit and run, I believe it was a run and swing if it's a strike, and he did.
Right. Sometimes a base runner like that will guess curveball too with the pitcher, and that certainly was a curveball.
And that's grounded down to Gagne, and he has 1 play first base and gets the out there, and Ozzie Smith advances. So with 1 down, Smith at 2nd, and Danny Dreesen will come to the plate, having grounded out and doubled.
It's almost like a sacrifice. You start Smith, Herr gets his bat on the ball. Gagne only has 1 play, makes a nice play off his front foot, but you got a guy in scoring position to add to your lead, which is already 4-2.
Now Pagnazzi, Tom Pagnazzi, the rookie, who can catch and in the World Series DH, and that's what they did in game 1. The right-hand batting Pagnazzi will come up here to bat for the left-hand hitting Dreesen. Now the one thing about Herzog, as he tries to take advantage here, he's already got Ford out of the game, and now he's got Dreesen out of the game, and so if the Twins could catch up you'd then be in a situation where Whitey would certainly be limited because the Twins would go to the right-handers, either Berenguer or Reardon. But Whitey's got to try to get the runs when he can, and he's opted to go with Pagnazzi here with 1 out and Smith at second base.
All the changes he makes, though, he knows that they don't have any more left-handers, so he can put Morris in for defense if he wanted to. I mean, he can make Lindemann at first, and he knows he's not going to get burnt down the road.
The one problem you have here is you don't want to use 2 players. Pagnazzi may be the catcher, Pena to first, Lindemann staying in right. Otherwise, you may have to use 2 players here by having Pagnazzi pinch hit because Dreesen's out of there. Pagnazzi, to my knowledge, has no major league experience as a first baseman, but is a catcher. Pena has experience as a first baseman and has been working out at first base in postseason. So we'll see.
High in the air to Brunansky. Tom fades on it, has room, makes the catch. Smith tags at second and moves into third as the throw is cut off by Lombardozzi. So 2 down now. Pagnozzi flying to Brunansky, and Willie McGee will come up right-handed.
All of those are plausible moves, but boy, do you hurt your club defensively.
Yeah,
you really weaken yourself in 3 positions.
Yeah, we really don't know what what Whitey is going to do as far as Pena is concerned, but that would be the key. If you ever take your starting catcher out of there, you're really weakening yourself defensively, especially if your pitcher's doing well, and Tudor is doing well with the stuff he has.
And McGee hits one into right field for a base hit to score another run as Ozzie touches the plate, and the Cardinals now lead by a score of 5-2. So the walk to Smith comes back to hurt Schatzeder, and St. Louis leads by 3.
And such smart hitting. He sat on deck on the bench, saw the curveballs, looks for one, hits it to right field, doesn't try to pull it. He saw Tommy Herr do that. He saw Pagnazzi fly out to right field on the curveball, saw the pattern of Schatzeder, and then just spanked it to right. I mean, not only did he hit well, he was smart enough to look for the pitch that he's been throwing.
Now here's Pendleton batting lefty against lefty. He wants to keep, does Herzog, Pendleton in the game, so Terry cannot hit right-handed. We know that. He wants to keep him in the game. Think about down the line. He'll waste this at-bat here if he has to keep him available for Reardon or Berenguer. So he sends him up lefty against lefty. And you wonder the last time that Pendleton faced a lefty left-handed.
Probably in Little League ball,
yeah,
or something like that.
I would think. 1-1. Certainly, I can't imagine this having happened in the majors or even the minors unless there was some extraordinary circumstance. In any event, it's something that Terry has not seen very often. 2-1. And in the bullpen, Berenguer gets up again for Minnesota. Second time Juan has been warming up. That's a strike, and the count 2-2.
Saw Pendleton shake his head. He said, I don't know if he was shaking his head that it wasn't a strike, or he said, I wish I could turn around. I mean, come on. No, I don't want to hit this side.
McGee goes, and Pendleton strikes out. But in the inning, the Cardinals get an insurance run and lead 5-2 after 4.5. World Series memory, Art Jackson, number 44 in 1977. And you'll recall this, one of 3 home runs, leading the Yankees to the world title. And our man Red Giroux is here, and we'll be visiting with Reggie on our after the game portion. John Morris comes into to play right field. Jim Lindemann now playing first base, and with Morris now in the game, every eligible player has gotten into the World Series. He's the 48th. Morris in right, Bottom of the 5th inning, and Puckett starts things with a base hit into center field. He's 3 for 3.
Well, Rick Rennick, the hitting instructor, third base coach, said when he gets hot, he gets hot. Now look where this ball is. It's down, it's away, and it's a line drive into center. And 3 for 3. So you make a good pitch, and didn't turn out too good for John Tudor.
As a matter of fact, he's hit 3 good pitches, 2 change-ups away, and the fastball at the letters tight.
Gary Gaetti. Kirby had 4 hits in the first 5 games. He's got 3 today. John Tudor with a 3-run lead. Gets it on the black of the plate on the outside 0-1. Juan Berenguer coming in from the pen. Might come in the 6th. Mike. Bucket at first. Nobody out. And it's 1-1.
The Twins have their players in the game. They're trying to get the crowd back into the game, because the crowd here can obviously be so affected when they gear it up. They haven't really yet since the 2nd inning.
Gaetti, as you saw, 2 for 11 career and 0 for 5 in the series against Tudor. And he hits this one down into the left field corner for extra bases. Coleman has it skip away, and then he falls down. Puckett will come in to score on a double. It's 5-3.
Well, good pitch to hit middle of the plate, and Gaetti, as we said, 31 home runs. Likes to get his arms extended and does. You see Vince Coleman fall, so Puckett's going to score. But to me, the important thing about this play, it's a sure double. Coleman doesn't overreact. He does not throw behind the runner and allow Gaetti to go to third base.
Mike Rourke goes to the mound, and Rick Horton throws in the bullpen. And also Bob Forsch up as well, the right-hander.
And I believe he's talking about the bullpen to get into action right there. Didn't take long. John is struggling with his control, and the result is some line drives.
Forsch the righty, Horton the lefty. And then when they get deeper into the game, it's Staley and Worrell, as you know. Fifth inning, 5-3 Cards. Baylor the tying run at the plate with Gaetti at second. To deep left field, and that one is gone to tie. Brunansky hits it in the left for a base hit. Forget the decibel meter, get the Richter scale.
Don Baylor's first home run as a Twin. As that graphic showed you, the last one a grand slammer in Boston off Steve Carlton. Not quite as big as this one. A straight changeup, too much of the plate.
No doubt about it.
Yes, sir.
332nd lifetime.
Horton in, Tudor out.
In places beyond the reach of other overnight delivery companies, you'll find UPS. Because unlike the competition, only UPS Next Day Air delivers overnight to every single address coast to coast. And because we're so efficient, we can do it for up to half what other companies charge, whether the place is hard to reach or easy to reach. UPS, we run the tightest ship in the shipping business.
Take me back where I belong. Take me where it's safe and warm.
The Goodyear Vector is the all-season radial that pumps water away to keep more tire tread on the road. And for some, that's a comforting thought.
Take me home. Goodyear, take me home. Never matters how far I go. Goodyear, take me home. Are you paying too much or your rates too high? Leave it to the good hands, people. Does your insurance bill make you want to cry?
If you're not happy with your insurance bill, join the more than 6 million families who enjoy solid Allstate homeowners protection at sensible Allstate rates.
So shake those blues and save some dough. Give us a call, cause our rates are low. Leave it to the good hands, people. You're in good hands with Allstate.
A member of the Sears Financial Network.
Rick Horton is on to work. He has not pitched since last Saturday, game 1, when he worked the final 2 innings in a mop-up role. Here he is with the game tied, 5-5. The Twins with 4 consecutive hits on 6 pitches. Ken Herbeck now with Brunansky at first base and nobody out. John Tudor as he departed.
There's nothing like reversing the momentum by having a bad inning when your team has just scored a run to go ahead 5-2, and that's what John was really what's he able to do, but that's what he did. And Ricky Horton's asked to put a finger in the dike.
Go ahead run at first base. Brunansky, nobody out in the bottom of the 5th inning. To center field to a deep McGee, but he comes in and makes the play. 1 gone, and Laudner, the batter, as Brunansky retreats. The last huge home run that Baylor hit would be a year ago in the American League Championship Series, with the Angels leading 3-1 and leading in the 5th game 5-2 at Anaheim. You'll recall that Baylor came up and hit a 2-run homer to make it 5-4, and then with 2 out and 2 strikes, it was Dave Henderson hitting the home run. Red Sox went on to win the game and the next 2 and the pennant. 0-1 to count on Laudner.
And very similar, that it was a high curveball off width that he went out off the plate and yanked it into the left field stands. This was a change that maybe not off the plate, but it's a pitch that a normal hitter may single on. Baylor, as we said, well over 300 home runs, whacked it into the left field seats to tie up this game.
Runner goes, and it's a comebacker to Horton, and he looks at second, then goes to first for the out. 2 down. And it will bring up Lombardozzi. Tudor's reaction following Baylor's home run. Don Baylor. Here's Lombardozzi. Crowd trying to coax in the go-ahead run.
I think maybe shove instead of coax. It's the loudest coaxing I've ever heard.
Well, it's so loud that when Kenny Kaiser, who umpired behind the plate in the 4th game, said when he wants to talk to a catcher, he has to yell. Tom Kelly said that you have to yell to talk to somebody next to you on the bench. Now you know why we're yelling.
2-0.
This is not the best matchup if you're Whitey Herzog and you're bringing in Horton following Tudor. You'd like to have Forsch or a right-hander come in. That's a different contrast as far as styles. Except Forsch struggled so much back in that 4th game that you wonder he went with Horton because of the confidence level.
Strike, and it's 2-1 on Lombardozzi.
Well, to repeat what we said the other night, left-handers are more effective against right-handed hitters than right-handed pitchers are against left-handed hitters. So with the left-hander, you don't really lose a lot. Both Bernansky and Gaetti, for instance, hit right-handed pitching better than left-handers.
Three and one with Gladden on deck. Gladden, the top of the order. Watching Lombardozzi, the number 9 hitter. 2 down, Bernansky to his lead at second. Line drive, base hit into center field. Here comes McGee. Here comes Bernansky. Here comes the throw. He's safe.
Hit number 3 for Lombardozzi in the series. Or tonight, I beg your pardon. Batting .273, that should send him over 300. But more importantly, it gives the Twins the first lead they've had in 2 games. And the momentum of Bernansky actually went through the left leg of Pena. Tony reaching to his right, that took the weight off of his left leg. Consequently, that gave Bernansky, see the lean to the right? That takes the weight off the left leg, and Bernansky is safe. Pena actually should be out in front of the plate as opposed to on the plate. If you're going to block the plate, you can't be on it. You got to be out in front of it. Hard slide by Bernansky.
Herzog put up a mild protest. Terry Tatum made the call. Slice foul, 0-2. Take another look now.
Here Lombardozzi went up with Reniak, batting coach in Boston. Hitting instruction. McGee does not make a good throw. You can see Tony have to go to his right, as Timmy said. When he gets back, Bernansky's already across the plate.
See, actually, Tony set up properly, expecting the throw slightly to the left of home plate, and then the throw was slightly to the right of home plate, and that's why Bernansky scored.
1-2 on Gladden.
Catchers are trained to keep the left leg, the weight on the left leg. It's the toughest play on a throw from right field. The next toughest play is on the throw from center because the runner comes in blindly. The easiest play is on the throw coming from left field. Time
called. 6-5 Minnesota with 4 here in the 5th. Lombardozzi at first, 2 down, 1 and 2 on Gladden. Soft little looper to Smith, and that's that. But 8 men come to the plate. They get 4. The place erupts. It's 6-5 Twins.
I'm here for some straight talk about the stock market. It's important to everyone. It provides capital that creates jobs to make America grow. Emotions can run high during market turbulence, just when reason should prevail. We are confident in the markets. We've stayed active in them for all investors. America's economy is the strongest in the world with great ability to bounce back. At Merrill Lynch, we're still bullish on America.
And let's tackle Tim Daniels' worst collegiate score.
There's only one camera system you can buy that lets you hold the picture in your hand while you still hold the feeling in your heart. The Polaroid Spectra system.
Yeah. Harry, Kalamazoo Tuesday, I can do that. Memphis Wednesday, I can do that. New York Thursday, I can do that. How am I going to do that?
No matter where you do business, Northwest can fly you there.
This ABC Sports exclusive is being brought to you by Allstate. For home, auto, and life insurance, you're in good hands at Allstate.
Pena sets up properly, but watch what the throw does to him. It takes him out of his position to the right of home plate, and that allows Brunansky to bull through that left leg. Had he had the weight on the left leg, that wouldn't have happened. You ward him off.
Another view, and you can see Terry Taylor right there, the umpire, to make the call. Brunansky gets his knee as Pena tags him. I think that's what Whitey came out and argue about. Did he get to the plate before he tagged him? Taylor said yes. End of story.
Now here's Berenguer into work with Lindemann batting. The Cardinal lineup right now, recall with the 2 switches. Lindemann is in the 7 spot. Morris is in the game. He's in the 4 spot with Berenguer working. They've already spent Ford, and they've already spent Dreesen, and they've already spent Pagnozzi from the bench.
And that is the key as far as I'm concerned. And the Cardinals, Juan Berenguer pitching well. He's come in, he throws well over 90 miles per hour, but they saw him pitch last year with San Francisco. They all know he throws 90 miles per hour, but they all say you'll get a good fastball to hit every time. He did not get his breaking ball over the other night.
Lindemann hits a ground ball to second. Lombardozzi throws him out.
So he comes in with 2 sliders and then a forkball. And this is not the Berenguer that we saw the other night with the 1-0 lead in the 3rd ball game that came in and gave up 3 runs, almost all on high breaking balls or fastballs when he got behind in the count.
Oquendo now. What Kelly is thinking is, hey, Juan, get me to the 8th. Get me to the 8th inning.
Well, they got the tune-up with Jeff Reardon, their stopper, in Game 5. Even though they were behind, he pitched very well as he did all year, at least the last 3 quarters of the year after struggling early. So you're right, that's what he needs, a couple of innings.
2-0.
Well, that's that high strike you just do not get with a National League umpire. Terry Taylor down on 1 knee. Used to be a strike, not anymore.
2-1.
You don't get it from the American League umpire that much anymore either.
Occasionally, though,
yeah.
but not very often. You're right.
That strike zone has really dropped. And there should be consistency between the 2 leagues.
And there is. They went from that outside protector to the inside.
2-2.
And there's the 2-1 forkball. So with Berenguer, as we said, you got to show the hitter a difference in speeds of pitches and types of pitches, and he's done that to the first 2 batters so far.
Woo, 3-2.
His weakness is wildness. Timmy, you had that stat where he threw 113 pitches in 3 2/3 innings,
right,
and didn't lose or win. Got a no decision up in Boston.
Only a 6-5 game.
That's grounded down to short on a forkball, and there are 2 down, 2 away here in the 6th inning. Pena coming up.
What a view from behind the plate. A 3-2 forkball. You can see it plummet, tumble. Oquendo hits the top half of it. ground ball to shortstop.
I just figured out a way to make $1 million. We'll go out and get the exclusive on a throat lozenge concession in Minneapolis. Whew. This crowd is unbelievable. Pena with 2 out takes the strike.
Well, it's such an obvious difference when you play in your home park. You get down 5-2 and you're in St. Louis, there's no noise. If you're down 5-2 here, at least you have somebody cheering, giving you a little bit of momentum, so to speak. Seemed to work.
1-1 on Pena. Two out, 6th inning, 6-5 Twins. And that's grounded toward the middle. Good stop by Gagne, guns him down. And at the end of 5.5 in Game 6, it's Minnesota 6, St. Louis 5.
IBM presents You Make the Call. With a runner on first and 1 out, a batter hits what appears to be a routine double play ball. But the runner from first goes out of his way to upend the fielder. Can he do this? You make the call.
And tied into our IBM mid-range computer, you can check calendars, get phone lists, even send instant memos.
Okay, let's see if anyone's awake out there. How much wood would a woodchuck chuck?
If a woodchuck could chuck wood.
I'll need specifics. What's woodchuck? What type wood? I got some ideas on this woodchuck thing. Let's do lunch.
Why wasn't I asked to head up Project Woodchuck?
It works.
IBM Office Systems, electronic mail, and a whole lot more.
A runner cannot go out of his way to break up a double play. If he does, not only is he out, but the batter is too. So if you said the runner couldn't do that, then you made the right call.
The house is paid up. Kids are out of college. Things are fantastic.
So what's the problem?
Things are not so fantastic. A financial genius, I'm not.
Very few of us are. We can help. At New York Life, we have the resources to make the most of your resources. We offer a range of financial opportunities, including mutual funds, annuities, and limited partnerships. Don't settle for less than you deserve. Get the most out of life with New York Life.
Mr. Belvedere's back on primetime.
Hey, guys. Who's a dummy?
I was just about to ask the same question.
And Brian Keith returns to television.
Daughter certainly is outgoing. Mind if I take a crack at her?
He's one professor who makes history come alive.
All right, yes.
Thomas Jefferson, Magic Johnson, and introducing Paul Provenza. The Pursuit of Happiness premieres Friday following the return of Mr. Belvedere.
You know, we're only in the 6th inning here, but assume the Twins win and we go to a 7th game. Minnesota has Viola. St. Louis has McGrain. Cox on 2 days rest. What do you think?
Big advantage Twins. That's what I said.
Definitely, I think Viola learned a lot from the last start. And McGrain, I mean, you'd like to think at 23, intelligent young man, but I got to give the edge to anybody that has to comes in here. He does not have any advantage at all because who knows what the Cardinal pitchers are going to do. They have not pitched well here.
Rick Horton on in relief. He faces Greg Gagne in the bottom of the 6th inning. Gagne, Puckett, and Gaetti. And let's watch Gagne in the top of the 6th.
Footwork is so important to a middle infielder in particular. Watch the feet of Gagne. Trust me, it's important.
We believe you.
The positioning of the rearranging of the position of the feet, very, very important. That allows middle infielders to get off the strong throws that you see. A lot of times you see the results, you don't know how they started.
Strike to Gagne, 2-1. Gagne has hit 3 ground balls today for outs. 3-1. Cardinals still have Force throwing in the pen. There's Bob. Little chopper off the plate. Going to be tough for Ozzie. Leaps, throws. No, not even Ozzie.
that?
I don't know. Normally if there's a will, there's a way, but there was the will, and you'll see it right here. We always refer to him as an acrobat, and then again, but Gagne with good speed and the high hop base hit. Pretty good 3-1 pitch down in the strike zone, and I guess being from Baltimore, we could call this the Baltimore chop, and it was. But watch this. It's just amazing.
I'll tell you, if you folks don't think this is a difficult play, try it. Write it down.
And then go
catch the ball and throw it before you land.
And then go right to your chiropractor. Here comes Forsch.
Happy trails to you. Keep. Come on, everybody, do that kick. Help kick, milks that kick. The hard man pours it on real tall. Staying in shape, milk's a part of it all. Milk! From big city slickers to wheat field kickers, America's favorite help kick, milk.
Here is Bob Forsch on in relief. He's appeared in 2 games, and he was the winning pitcher with a lot of help from his friends the other night. Some defensive gems behind him.
Well, that and his control is very erratic. I talked to him. He said, I have no idea. Of those 33 games, he started 30 of them. As you said, Al, he did get the win, but great defense by a double play by Ozzie Smith twice and a line drive out to left field that Coleman made a great play on. And for him to be effective, he has to have good control.
That's
great signs here.
Fella right behind home plate. I'm telling you, he has got a sign ready for every occasion.
Let's get the inside pitch on longtime Cardinal Bob Forsch.
Pitcher. He knows how to pitch. He mixes his pitches well. He throws a fastball, curveball, slider, and straight change, and he doesn't give in to the hitter. He's always around the plate, and he's tough to steal on. He's real quick going to the plate, which is going to make it tough for Twins runners to try to steal a base.
I think the key to Tony's report, and again, Tony and Paul have been right on with their reports throughout the series. I think the key is that he doesn't give in to the hitter. And that was our point the other night. He tries to get ahead of you and then get you out with pitches off the plate.
Kirby Puckett, who was 4 for 20 in the first 5 games. But today, 3 for 3. He has scored twice. He has driven in a run, and he has stolen a base. Forsch with Gagne at first base and nobody out. 0-1.
As we said, when he gets hot, he gets torrid. 6 hits, 6 for 6 in Milwaukee, and then 4 hits the next night. 10 hits in 2 games. Tony Oliva said it doesn't matter what you throw up there. Breaking ball, fastball in, fastball away, change-ups, will get his hits. That's how you hit 332.
2-0.
Tell you, it didn't matter what you threw to Tony Oliva either, did it, Jim?
No, 3 batting championships. Amazing hitter and hit the ball where he's pitched. So he's very much like Kirby Puckett. 1 year, over 30 home runs for Tony Oliva.
Tony won his second batting title in 1965, the last time the Twins were in the World Series.
And the only time the Twins won the World Series prior to this.
So Forsch really takes off where he left off the other night. And as Tony Gwynn said, he's experienced. He has to be around the plate. And he can't give in to you because he does not have overpowering stuff. He never really has. Has to be on the edges. Has to get ahead, and the count's 3-0. He has to come to you as a hitter. You're going to be in the driver's seat.
Yeah, and because Bob doesn't throw as hard as he used to, when he falls behind, it's doubly in the hitter's advantage, or to the hitter's advantage. Well, is that a big difference?
Yeah.
My goodness.
3-0 is ball 4, first and second. Mike Rourke. He's sending Pagnozzi, who was out of the game, of course. He was a pinch hitter, but is still working as the bullpen catcher. Lee Tunnell is already down in the pen, and they're going to get Daly up as well, the lefty.
You're almost looking 4 hitters down the lineup to when Herbeck comes up, but Whitey knows he cannot afford to let this game get away. Does not want to play tomorrow.
Gary Gaetti, a big 5th inning double to get the Twins rolling. 0-1. You know, Gaetti's the kind of guy, if you're a baseball fan and you don't really follow the Twins, you hear his name, you know he's a pretty good player, and then you get to watch him every day, as you do during the playoffs in the World Series, and he really grows on you. Well, he is a good player. And you really see it when you watch him day after day after day. 0-2.
You say, why is he a good player? He's probably going to win his 2nd Gold Glove. Hit over 30 home runs. He really came down about 20-some points in average this year. But he last year hit over 280. This year around 260. Can hit the ball the other way. Pretty good speed. Used to play shortstop in college. A free agent. Any general managers listening?
Or watching.
Oh,
Most
they might
of
be
them are
here.
here.
Yeah, that's right. Nobody out. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning in Game 6. The Twins trying to stay alive, and they lead the Cardinals 6-5. Gagne at second and Puckett at first. Nobody out. Out of play.
Boy, did he get away with a mistake there. High slider, pulled foul. The good thing for if you're Bob Forsch is that even though you are in a jam, Gaetti is not going to be bunting. You're not going to be playing for 1 run. So if you can make your pitch, and Forsch is a sinker baller, or more effective down the strike zone, you got the double. You have the double play in order. Now watch this 0-2 pitch. As we said, Pena's sitting down and away, and look at that high slider, but it was too high.
Right.
One of those pitches you can't take, but tough to put in play.
A lot of people think that if a breaking ball is up, that it's automatically a hanger and that it's easy to hit. Some breaking balls are too high. The high breaking ball is really right around the waist. The ball that breaks around the letters, regardless of how effective it is or how hard it's thrown, is usually too high to do anything with. That's what happened then.
0-2 the count. Nobody out. And that's off Pena's glove. So that eliminates the double play.
There he goes after this ball like he was crossed up. Usually when catchers aren't quick upstairs, it looks like, watch the mitt, right? See, it looks like he's looking for something to break into an area and then kind of made a wild stab at the fastball.
Ruled a pass ball.
It should have been.
Yep. Now the Cardinal infield sets up a little deep, but they may begin to cheat in, and they start to already. Does Ozzie anyway at short. With second and third and nobody out. Reaches out, fouls it off. Morris gives chase, but well back out of play. 1-2.
And another good quality is plate coverage. Forsch made the pitch he wanted to make there, and Gaetti, again, didn't have a good swing at it, but he did create a situation where he's going to get another pitch to hit.
The good hitters fight those pitches off and foul them, and the bad hitters, the 250 hitters, put those balls in play.
1-2 pitch. Check, 2-2. Appeal, no. Gagne at third. Puckett at second. Popped up. Smith and Herr both go out. It's Ozzie underneath it, and he has it for the first out, and a big out. One away. Now Baylor, and now they've got to think about, as you look at Baylor's home run on tape, about maybe walking Baylor to try to set up the DP with Brunansky. We'll see. Here it was in the 5th inning to tie the game.
I'll tell you, I'd pitch to him right here.
But they're not. They're going to walk him.
I mean, would you rather pitch to a regular player, a guy who plays 160 games a year, or Don Baylor, who has batted 50 times in the last 6 weeks? 50, his first home run.
I can tell you, after never throwing a grand slam in almost 4,000 innings, that I don't want to load him up. And the reason I say that is because I don't think one run is going to beat you here. I know what Whitey's saying. Let's load him up, and we'll go for the double play. And Forsch is supposed to be a sinker baller. He got that ball down to Gaetti, but he didn't. He hit a grounder. It's a big gamble. Brunansky, as you said, was played all year long.
I think I agree with you, Ken. I think I would have pitched to him because if I'm the manager, I'm afraid, all right, let's say Brunansky strikes out or pops out. Now I've got to go to get Daly to face Herbeck to get that third out of the inning, and I'm not sure I want to use Daly in the 6th.
Yep.
Anyway, mull it over.
It's certainly not a clear choice.
No.
Plus, there's no place to put Brunansky. That makes a big difference.
He hits it in the air to shallow center field. Gagne is tagging. Smith is going out, and he makes the catch, and the throw is cut off. It was deep enough so that there was no infield fly rule in effect. And 2 down as Brunansky pops out. Now you've got Herbeck, and now you've got Herzog going out, and now you're going to have Daly coming in here. So this is what Whitey's opted for.
Well, went right after him, and that's what you do with the bases loaded. And pops it up. So that's a low fastball for a pop-up from Gaetti and a high pop fly on a high fastball from Brunansky.
So here comes Daly to try to get Herbeck with the bases loaded and 2 out in the 6th.
When you want to go from freewheeling to 4x4 fun, Chevy S10 lets you do what Ford and Toyota can't. Shift and keep right on going with standard InstaTrack.
The heartbeat of America. Chevy S10. Today's Chevy truck. You've got the whole world in your hand. You've got the whole wide world in your hand. You've got the whole world in your hand. You've got the whole world in your hand.
Put the whole world in your hand with Radio Shack's new portable cellular phone. A price and technology breakthrough.
You've got the whole world in your hand.
Only at Radio Shack, the technology store.
Hello. With the World Series here, Ed is offering some baseball tips. When the third base coach is acting like Ed is, it is not because of a nervous condition. He is telling the batter what to do. And if the game isn't going too well, he will make a different kind of signal. He is saying, the heck with this. Let's get out of here and enjoy a cold, frosty bottle of the Bartles and James Premium Wine Cooler. Well, we hope you will do that too. And thanks for your support.
His family was murdered, and his revenge made him an outlaw. Now his obsession is to help those who have nowhere else to turn. If you are in danger, he's the best ally you ever had. But if you threaten the lives of innocent people, you're a target. You won't hear him coming. He'll give you no warning. But November 7th, he'll be here. Watch out for Sable.
Some pretty fascinating stuff going on here right now because Daly comes out of the bullpen, bases loaded, 2 out, to try to keep the Cardinals very much in the game to face Herbeck. He's the specialist. He normally comes in later than this, but Herzog, in a way, maybe feeling the game is partially on the line here. He's got to get out of this inning and stay within 1, so he's got to go to Daly early.
Yeah, game situations can come in the 1st inning, the 5th inning, or the 9th inning, and this is a game situation.
So Daly, the 4th Cardinal pitcher. They have Tunnel, a righty in the bullpen. Bases loaded, 2 out. Bottom of the 6th. Twins lead by 1. And Herbeck hits a high drive to deep center field. Mickey goes back. Grand slam. Throws out Laudner. End of 6, 10-5 Minnesota. Back after this from your local station.
Final weekend of the World Series in the Metrodome. We at Midwest Fellow are proud to be bringing you the play-by-play action today. This is our 18th consecutive year of sponsoring the Twins on radio and television. It's our way of saying thank you for all of your customers and friends. This has been a great season, and you fans have supported the Twins all through the year. You deserve a lot of credit. Now let's get back to the game and cheer our Twins on to victory over the St. Louis Cardinals.
There's something different in the middle of a sesame seed bun. With chicken in the middle of a sesame seed bun. Come to McDonald's and get yourself one. With chicken in the middle of a sesame seed bun. Everybody's flipping over till they go to chicken on a sesame seed bun. With fresh, crisp lettuce and mayonnaise. For a limited time and only 99 cents. With chicken in the middle of a sesame seed bun. With chicken.
Starting Monday, a live investigative magazine show, A Current Affair.
Another World Series record tied. Yogi Berra and Moose Skowron in 56 hit 2. Gladden did it in game 1. Here's Herbeck with natural sound hitting it out.
Can one swing erase? Makes you forget not running that double out or getting picked off second, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. That's
really
right.
does. That's right.
7th inning. Coleman, the top of the order, takes a strike. 0-1. One pitch from Daly. 10-5. Minnesota in the 7th inning. Berenguer now throws another strike. 0-2.
Well, you never like to give up a home run, a key base hit, and that certainly was one. But I'll tell you what, Daly came in with his best, and Herbeck was better. Went with his #1 fastball.
1 out. Ken Daly. Some days you do, and some days you don't.
Hey, it's a lot better than making a bad pitch and having hit it. He just went right after him and hit it over the center field fence.
Mr. Herzog. And thinking a little bit about tomorrow, even though the Cardinals still have 8 outs to go. 1-0 on Ozzie Smith. And he hits it into right field off the hands for a base hit. First hit of the game for Smith, and the first hit off Berenguer. And Tommy Herr is the batter. Herr 1 for 3. Darryl Strawberry was the last left-handed batter to homer off Ken Daly 2 years ago.
And that was in an 11-inning 1-0 ball game, and it was a high curveball. And Ken Herbeck hits the 14th Grand Slam in World Series history.
Tommy Herr tries to bunt his way on. Strike. 0-1.
And also the first hit for Herbeck against left-handers in the World Series. He's now 1 for 17, but oh, what a one.
And people wondering, the Twins fans, Herbeck, Puckett, when would they wake up? Hello? Puckett is 3 for 3 plus a walk. One and one. Outside. Signs like that adorn this beautiful city.
Who is they? They said it couldn't be done?
They turn up everywhere.
I remember John Lowenstein, one of my teammates, he says, who is they?
Well, you saw downtown Minneapolis framing the Hubert H. Humphrey Metrodome, and inside before 55,293. That's the attendance today.
Herbeck, Bernansky, Gaetti, Puckett, they call them the Fab Four up here.
Maybe that's who they are.
1-1 the count. And now it's 2-1. The Dome. What did Dave Anderson call it in the New York Times yesterday? The Decibel Dome. 2-1 pitch is grounded to the right side, and that's a base hit. Ozzie Smith will hold at second. And so the Cardinals are very much still alive and kicking. 2 on with 1 out, and John Morris is the batter, and it's the first time that he has come up in the World Series. He's the last of the 48 of the 2 clubs to get in. Morris, we mentioned it the other night, grew up on Long Island in Belmore and knew a couple of the Twins, Frank Viola, and he knew Gene Larkin. He met Gene Larkin when they were in the 4th, 5th grade.
Gene Larkin's birthday today, as a matter of fact. He's 25 years old.
Morris takes inside, ball 1. Now with Whitey having made the moves before, Morris comes up here hitting out of the cleanup spot. A spot in which Dreesen started, then Pagnazzi hit for him, and now Morris in the 4 slot with McGee on deck. Breaks his bat, 1 hopper. Lombardozzi to Gagne to Herbeck, double play. At the end of 6½, 10-5 Twins.
How does the advanced new Chevy half-ton stand up to Ford? Chevy gives you more standard power than Ford, more cab room, more shoulder room, more 2-sided galvanized steel, new 2-tier loading, and a bigger, heavier frame. So how does Ford stand up to the first all-new full-size pickup introduced in this decade?
Not very well.
The heartbeat of America.
Test drive it.
That's today's Chevy truck.
Daniel Gray, entrepreneur, self-promoter. Everybody hears from you.
That's why I have the AT&T card.
So, of course, you've called ahead to tell your family, clients, and associates you'll be late.
No. That's a lot of buttons to press.
Dan, use the pound button.
The what?
button?
The pound button. That little tic-tac-toe key. Press the pound button after each call, and you never have to redial your AT&T card number.
Hey, you know, that pound button really works.
Fast, huh, Danny?
It's my kind of button.
To get the AT&T card, dial 1-800-CALL-ATT.
Every day, Jack Taylor and Joe Donovan take the same road home. But today, they went a little out of their way.
Give you a hand.
Here's to you, the clean, crisp taste of Beechwood-aged Budweiser.
This Bud's
For all the guys who go out of their way.
This Bud's for you.
To be continued at a ballpark near you.
The preceding message was furnished by Major League Baseball.
This ABC Sports exclusive is being brought to you by Budweiser, Beechwood aged for that clean, crisp taste. This Bud's for you.
The only other World Series in which the Twins played Game 6, the 6th inning, Howie Reed on the mound. Mudcat Grant hits a 3-run homer to give the Twins a 5-0 edge. And I've got an interesting story once this inning begins. I guess I could complete it right now. Mudcat Grant's mother's name is Viola, and he will be the starting pitcher tomorrow night if the Twins win this evening.
Like it. Meanwhile, Lee Tunnell comes in for St. Louis to face Steve Lombardozzi. Now, here's what Whitey's managing both games right now. He's managing this one, and he's managing tomorrow night's game. He had Daly in the game, but he has to get Daly out down by 5. He's going to need Daly tomorrow night. So he's got to go to Tunnell right now to make sure Daly is fresh tomorrow. And it's hit in the air to right, and right to Morris. One gone. First time they've gotten the man they call Lombo today.
Well, it goes back to the point you made 2 innings ago when you walk Baylor to load up the bases, you get Bernansky to pop up, but you, as a manager, make yourself bring in Daly. Now, I'm not second-guessing that because I know Whitey would do the same thing tomorrow, and the result might be different. But what you do is make you bring Daly in earlier, and now we see Tunnell because you are managing for tomorrow.
Well, the great thing, one of the great things about this game is you mow over all this stuff. There's no black and white answer. If there was a black and white answer to everything, it wouldn't be half the fun it is.
Wouldn't have the charm that it does.
I'll tell you what is black and white. 10, 8, and 10 runs for the Twins when they play here in 5 and 3 games in Busch Stadium.
That's driven to right, and Morris is there fading on it. 2 down, and Gagne will be the batter. A reminder, they're coming up on Monday night. The regulars are back. And Monday Night Football at 9 Eastern Time will feature the Los Angeles Rams against the Cleveland Browns. Rams trying to get healthy. And also, if we go to a 7th game of the World Series, they're going to play the Bronco-Viking game on Monday night, and we'll have coverage of that in selected areas for you. 1-0 the count on Gagne. 2 out, base is empty. 10-5 Twins. Strike. 1-1.
Tunnell pitched in the second game. Pitched fairly well. He hit the looper to Gagne to really kind of bury them. But then, other than that, the home run to Laudner over the center field fence.
Tommy Herr with a nice backhand stop and throw, and that's that. As they get Gagne, and Tunnell has a 1-2-3 inning. On to the 8th. 10-5 Twins.